Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick show. We're doing more of our Posthomerica artwork here. And we have the figures in. Now we want to put them into the general background. So the background is what we have to create now. So let's put all of these into a folder or else it's going to get out of control pretty fast. We don't want to merge them yet because we're using the individual pieces to actually create the rest. Because it's curved, we can't use large pieces and keep doing it. That only works for straight lines. It's really bothering me, the snapping. I don't know how to turn off the snapping though. Yeah, we're having a hard time getting this to fit without snapping it. I guess that works. Okay, so we got a bunch of stuff. Now let's try taking like 4 of them and duplicating that. And maybe working in. No, see, yeah, because the curve is not identical in, these ones that I made. So it doesn't really work, but we can adjust them as needed. First of all, we're going to take that. We're going to turn this off for a second. We're going to finish making this line, which I didn't do. Okay, turn that back on. Go in there. We'll work our way up. So this is working. It definitely makes it easier than doing it individually every time. You know, it's just a little more tedious to do it on these curved ones because we can't do it as quickly as we can with the straight ones. But that's all right. This one's always off. I don't know what I did with that. I guess just because it's the furthest out. I don't know. Yeah, but it's a good thing that we didn't merge these, because if we had to select every single square when we wanted to move it, it would take a really long time. So now that's done. And we're not even going to merge them now because we might want to use this pattern again on the top part. How do I do this? Can I not pull all four of these out of this? No, I can't. We might want to use all these patterns again on the top part, and in that case, the same rule applies. We don't want to, we don't want them to be merged because it'll be too hard to separate out the instances. There's nothing in this group yet. Okay. At this point, we should probably... No, that's too big, this layer window. I wish that layer window was the same, but just... Oh, wow, you can have both of them. Oh, so this is like proper Photoshop now with that stuff. But we'll just do this for now. Okay. So we have the bottom section. Let's take a look at... I gotta pull in my picture of Theseus. This Theseus picture is really getting a lot of use. We're using it on everything. Okay. Not really a lot of patterns happening on that one. Okay, so next we do this. We're gonna pull down this. Apparently I did do that. Oh, we're gonna pull this up actually. We're gonna make another black border piece. Good. Now all of this stuff goes in one thing. And this goes away. Good. Now you can see here I wanted to do something like more ornate than there would be on the bottom for this thing. So maybe, I'm thinking like maybe if we had this circle on the outside parts and then there was something even more complicated on the inside. What that would be, I'm not really sure. But let's see if we can just very roughly take this group and duplicate it and put it up here. Yeah, we can't. But if we were just really rough about it, we did like this. No, I think we should do a different design for the top part. I think for the outside part, we wanted it to be a little thicker. Aha, I knew it. You can always tell when those bones are turned off. The angle on this is like wrong though. Hold on. Maybe it's like more like that. Good? Yeah, we could just shear away the parts that are extraneous afterwards. This cable is killing me here. I'm trying to charge my phone. Yeah, it wants to be more like that. That looks about right. We might be cheating the edges a little bit. This might want to be more like this. Okie dokie. So if we zoom it all the way out, that looks right to me. Good. Now let's try and come up with something that would live in there. The red line is really more of a hindrance than a help at this point. Good. So let's do the exterior parts of this thing first. And then we'll make all the designs inside. Well, it's on black, not on cream color. Right. Okay. It's looking pretty good. Alright, now we just get rid of any extra stuff. Okay, good. Now, we have two pieces of the border, and we have to remember that this line is going to be invisible because the black is going to be touching it. So it's kind of interesting. We have to think about it in different terms than we might otherwise be thinking about it. So now, I think we should probably do a corner of this now that we kind of have the general shape, and we'll see what it's going to look like. Good. So I'm thinking like, and let's fill this corner with the color that we want. Is that this color? Yeah. So we're just going to turn this up. Fill this in. screw around with concept designs for this pattern. See how that will not be visible anymore. I'm kind of thinking that another interesting idea might be, let's make a second layer. And let's try a color that's like sort of a gray. No, it doesn't work. It has to be black, I think. Or whatever black that the outlines are. Okay, good. So we're done with that. Now for this, we want to come up with ideas. Whoa, I forgot about the size. And I don't think we want it to touch the edges. Okay. So that's kind of cool. Maybe let's fill these sections with like a black. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's try copying this design. How would that work? We'd have to do it like this. Okay. Copy this, paste. We'll see if that duplicates well. Oh, right, we needed to put that piece in there. That's okay. It perfectly duplicates, so that's good. Great. Okay, so we have a design for that part. Let's just get the rest of this in here. We could probably also put this same design on the top. See how it's actually a slightly different curve, but it's all right. To the eye, it looks fine. So now we have designs for the top and bottom parts, and now we just want one for the center area. And we want to find something that's kind of suitably complicated for that. So maybe like, what about what if it was, let's make a new layer. Are these two? Yeah, we're gonna put these in a folder. Put these in a folder so we don't get disorganized. Okay, so now, what if we created a square okay, good. And then maybe we put something inside of it, like one of those X's. Okay. Then, if we had the square lead into another design, which sort of synced up with this. Whereas creating 4 more squares, I guess. Then maybe this has like inside of it like a something. Maybe inside of it this has like a no, I don't like that. That's kind of cool. So it's a square that leads to 4 other squares, which then turn into spirals on the inside. I'm trying to do this all geometrically because I think I don't know, I think these geometric shapes probably work best. But let's just see if we did something more kind of floral, I guess. What that would look like. When I was at that bed and breakfast I was talking about on a previous episode, they had a great sort of Greek key wallpaper design, like Greek style wallpaper. And I took a bunch of photos of it to use as reference in case I ever needed any ideas for you know, exactly what we're doing. And this comes from that. One of the other ones that we ended up actually using in our IS picture came from that too. See, that's kind of cool. Okay. Now I'm starting to think, like, what if each of the 4 squares had a different design inside of it? That could be really interesting. Now we gotta come up with 2 more ideas. Okay, we're moving though. And of course the thing too is gonna be that this would not be filled in here. So they would kind of lead into each other. Right, and the repeating pattern would involve a group of 4 duplicating across. So let's try making the squares like this. So what about this one? This is kind of a cool looking one. Let's use, like, oh my god. It's at such a small scale now that it thinks when I'm zooming out, I want to zoom out of the whole thing. Okay. No, that doesn't look good. So what if we did instead like a little triangle in the corner or something? Just to fill the space. Now, is it possible for me to just copy this, or is that not going to work? Oops. I did it again. Press copy. That kind of did work. Look at that. Time-saving measures. So it's 4 different designs leading into one thing. And let's kind of screw with this a little bit. Yep, that's good. We're going to want to twist this though, I think. Okay, what else we got? We don't really want any of them to have a different kind of like weight than the others. Otherwise it's going to feel very lopsided. Okay, it looks pretty cool. Now, did I just do something? Yeah. Let's do something real quick where we're going to copy and paste this. We're going to twist. Ugh. Shows up in the middle. We're going to twist it so that it's straight up and down. Then we're going to skew it so that it's perfectly square. That looks better. Maybe like this too. That's good. Now we're going to put this in. Oh, see, now that's the issue, is that you kind of have to skew it for it to match, for the square thing to match a circular border. So, but that is pretty cool though. So we can do the same thing by taking this. This is going to change the direction that the skewing tools go. And now we would do that. And then we could possibly even, so hold on. We made a little mistake here because we want to get these to the point where they don't need to be changed when we're duplicating them. So that's the correct version of it. We're going to do the same to this one. Now we could see if there's a sort of extra thing we can do, which will be this. Now this is a little risky. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to copy this we're going to take it into its own area here. We're going to remove any of the parts that are offending, that don't look, you know, like part of this square section. And now, ready for this? What we're gonna try and do is take what we've just created. Hold on, let's fix the page here. We're gonna turn this right side up. Now I'm gonna keep this as like a template. So I'm gonna put it down here. I wonder if I can copy a template. So let's, or a locked layer. So let's take this. Can I copy it? Yes. So we're just gonna keep that, turn it off. If I duplicate it, will the next one be locked? Yeah, so that's annoying. But whatever, we'll fix that later. What we want to do, right, one more thing we got to do. Hold on. I forgot to take, we have to take this with the background. So we're going to do something. Actually, we could just delete this. This is the kind of stuff where we're figuring out how to do it once, because if we do, then it will solve our problem for a long time to come. So now we're going to grab this. We're going to take this section around it. We're going to copy it with the background. Right, that's what we want. So we'll turn this off for now. How do I turn the background? I guess we could just do this. Or wait, do this? Yeah. We can do this. Yep. Now we're going to remove the areas outside of this. And I don't know if this is going to work, but I think it will. Because essentially what this is going to do is going to allow us to add another one of these square sections in between the interconnecting tiles, which it should look really cool. Remains to be seen whether it will look very cool. Okay, now let's turn this back on. Now we're gonna save this, oops, duplicated the wrong layer. Now we're gonna save this as our kind of template file. And let's see what happens. Nothing happens. Why is that? This should have the layer information behind it, but it doesn't. Now that's interesting. Why? Oh, okay, it does, but we just put it behind the other layers. That's it. Here we go. Will it work? Yeah, it does. It does kind of work. Okay, that's awesome. So we can have it be like that, where there's X's between each thing, if we chose. So that's perfect. We are going to save that for later. Let's make our templated one correctly laid out, because it has to be pointing straight up. Oh no, I can't change that. It has to be pointing straight up in order for this to work properly. So let's delete this layer. We'll make this our templated layer now. Nope. Make this our templated layer. And now when we skew it, oops, it will skew with a bounding box that perfectly surrounds it. Good. Let's put the template above these. And we would essentially just kind of do the rest by hand a little bit. But now that we have that, that's going to make it a lot easier to, so essentially we would take this and we would draw in the fixes each time. So it would be like this, we would do this, 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 kind of just clean up where the lines don't match. We would match the boxes to each other and then fix whatever, you know, doesn't match up because of the imperfections of doing this across a circle. That looks great. You know what could be even cooler as well, if we're doing this idea, is if we turned the box every time. Because then, essentially, it's as if you have a totally different design 4 times in a row. That's really cool. Okay, we're moving, ladies and gents. Love it. Like that, that, and that. Good. Although I think we would want it to be see, because these two touch each other. This is where the kind of like mathematics comes in, because we have to be able to predict a scenario in which this 2 sides never touch each other that are the same. And I think the way to do that is, first of all, we got to fix this thing. The way to do that is going to be that it rotates 180 degrees rather than 90 degrees each time. So let's do this. We'll skew it. And the skew, we're more interested with the skew to match the boxes than we are to match the like outlines to each other, because we can make the outlines match. But we want these boxes to be somewhat, you know, in a row. Incidentally, the outlines do match. That looks really damn cool. Great. So now we make the rest of this border go across the whole picture, and we execute on this repeating pattern on the inside of it. Love it. One of my favorite borders so far. So guys, that's going to do it for the Greek illustrations this time. Thank you for joining the show. The channel is called The Voice of Nick. If you want to see more, don't forget to hit the follow button, and have a great day.